All right, Shalom. This is Power Thumb of the Great Millstone Houston Camp, back with another lesson to edify the elect of the nation of Israel. So before I begin, as always, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rachakodash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation unto the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and all Israelites scattered abroad, who have received His truth and who will endure in the truth unto the end, and the same shall be saved. Salvation is coming by our Lord Yahweh Shai soon. All right, when He returns during World War III with the angels riding on so-called UFOs, chariots, to destroy our enemies and set up the kingdom, which is the kingdom of Israel on earth, a righteous, everlasting kingdom. All right. So in this lesson, I want to go into the balance that we're receiving in His truth, all right, and how we're being built up with balance to be perfect, okay, that in Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai eyes, okay, not in the world eyes, but how Yahweh and Yahweh Shai powers, all right, imagined us to be. I say imagine because when you go to Genesis, the second chapter, all right, it said it was created, okay, in the image, the Alahayim image. Let's see. Okay, first chapter. That's why I wanted to go ahead and type it in. All right, Genesis 1 and 26. And the Alahayim, all right, this is Yahweh Shai, and the angels, which are the elect. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. All right, and this is not talking about physical appearance. This is talking about the spiritual appearance, okay, with righteousness, okay. And the sons of God was given that righteousness, that law, statutes, and commandments, which was oral, all right, back then before the time of Moses. And let them have dominion over the fish in the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and all the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And we going back to that dominion over the animals, all right, where the animals were afraid of men, all right, and they respected men. Nah, animal, disrespect you quick. Genesis 1 and 27. So the Alahayim created man in His own image, all right, in the image of the Alahayim created He him, all right, and that's that righteous image, okay, what Yahweh intended on His chosen to look like. Male and female created He them, all right, so multiple males and females were created, not just Adam and Eve, all right. And I got this idea of the lesson from the Elder Tazapah of the Great Millstone Houston. Again, through the Spirit, edifying lesson. I highly suggest brothers to go watch this video. All things edify not, okay. And again, this is where I got my idea for doing the lesson of having balance in His truth. And He started with, okay, just to give you an idea of the lesson. All right, not really a quick overview. All right, there's a lot of points was being made to edify in this lesson. But 1 Corinthians 10 and 23 is the scripture that the elder started with. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. All right, so the elder started with the statement of it's the things that are lawful, that we are allowed to do under the law, that throw brothers' balance off and attention and focus off of this truth, whether it be family, getting boxed, all right, and so on and so forth. It could be a plethora of things that the law doesn't condemn, but in overindulging, Okay, you will be overindulging in these things that are lawful, but not building up your spiritual, uh, not building up your spirit. Okay, you will be lacking. All right, that's why the main priority is to focus on this truth. Okay, but even not to overindulge in the truth. And the elder went to Proverbs. Uh, let's see, are sufficient. Yep, he went to Proverbs 25:16. Let me remember that. Hast thou found honey, eat so much as it is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it up. And the honey is just truth, okay? And you trying to overindulge in this truth. All right, the elder went into being forgetful in the scriptures, not sticking it to your spirit. All right. Now everything ain't gonna stick to your memory, as the elder said, but it'll stick to your spirit, and Yahweh shall draw, okay, that this truth out of you when need be. All right, because you'll be going in things that you ain't studied in a while, but it's because it stuck to your spirit when you taught it. But if you eating too much, all right, or if you trying to get in the scriptures and you ain't built up yet from the foundation, and you trying to get into the deeper things, all right, you will vomit it up. You will miss the whole point of getting built up in this truth. Okay. So, and how do you get built up with the scriptures? So you'll be forgetful. All right. You won't really get the understanding of the scriptures, so on and so forth. So what I did was I went to ChatGPT. Really want to go to DeepSeek, but I accidentally typed it in ChatGPT, and I said, how does a hard and bitter life benefit your character like bitter herbs benefit your body? All right, because the scriptures talk about it was sweet in my mouth or bitter, okay, in my stomach. Roughly paraphrasing, let me get that real quick, because this is the balance, all right, that we need to be in the image of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, to be that, the elect in that image that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua want to see. And it's indeed a balanced image. So, Sour Patch Kids. It says Revelation 10:10, or Revelation 10:9. It says, and I went unto the angel, he said unto him, give me the little book. This is the scriptures. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter. So take and eat it up is to receive the scriptures and get the understanding of the scriptures. And it shall make thy belly bitter. So the food, has to go down out of your mouth, all right, down to your belly. Once it hit the belly, it's bitter. All right, and herbs are like that. For example, what's that? It's not ginger. Okay, ginger has a sweet taste. Okay, when you cook it, you extract some of that sweetness into out of the ginger into your food. All right, or in your teas or whatever. But then it's bitter. Okay, and that's that balance of being sweet. All right, that's the comfort or the good, pleasures and blessings that come with this truth. All right, the inheritance and all of that. And then the bitter is where you're going to go through, all right, in order to get these blessings. All right, so it says, it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. All right, and that's when we learn this truth. Okay, knowing that we're the chosen, peculiar people special above all the nations, and we're going to rule over the nation forever, everlasting rulership and righteousness, where all the problems and the sorrow will be wiped away. We're going to live in peace, all right, with our families again forever. It's sweet. But better part is, on this side, you're going to have to lose everything. You're going to have to lose your old man. You're going to have to lose some family members, some friends, some children, some, your woman, some women, okay? All right? Or whatever, you may lose your jobs. You're going to have to go through the fire of adversity, okay? And these things apply to, different brothers across the board. So this is the bitter part. And I took the little book out of the angel's mouth and ate it up. And it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And that's what we're doing right now. We're eating, all right, the true understanding of these scriptures. Okay, and what is the purpose of eating? To get the nutrients out of it. Okay, so our bodies can be edified, so our bodies can be healed and built up. All right, and a lot of people don't look at food like that, but that's the purpose of food. It's to enjoy, but it's also to heal and be medicine to the body. And this is what the scriptures are, medicine to our spirits, okay, to heal us. Because when we came out of the world, we were sick, all right, and we're still getting these sicknesses in our spirits through this truth, all right. And you have to have a mixture of honey and the bitters. And it says, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And eating it is, first, you hear the truth, all right? You understand the truth. You believe on the truth, all right? You hearing all the goodness. Even the bitterness that the elders are speaking is good to you, all right? But then when you start, you get the understanding, you start living it, it's like the fire of adversity, which that's good. Adversity is good, all right? As the, I believe it's the elder Yaquab said, all right, this the apostles' elders, that we're going through this judgment to be judges of the earth, roughly paraphrasing it. So judges got to know everything. They know the good of wisdom and the bad of wicked wisdom, which we had in this world and which we're experiencing of this world. And you got to know the good. All right, the good and the bad, the bitter and the sweet. Okay, the sweet is the kingdom, and the bitter is this captivity. All right. The bitter is, getting this understanding and going through the straight gate. It's bitter at times. All right. But the sweet is the reward on the other side. All right. So let me go over here again. ChatGPT. It says, a hard and bitter life can sharp your character in the same way bitter herbs support the body. And the scriptures talk about, all right, iron sharp. Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpening iron. So a man sharpening the countenance of his friend. And that's what's happening right now. All right. A man that has the true understanding of these scriptures is likened unto iron that's sharpening his brother with the truth of these scriptures. All right, making sure that we are being, what's that word? Was it polished? Okay. Another word for like sharpening. You're furbished. All right. We're being furbished in the spirit. We're being made sharp and polished up. Okay. And that's for the purpose of benefiting the brotherhood, ultimately benefiting the brotherhood for ourselves. First and foremost, first ourselves and then the brotherhood. So you got to be sharp yourself to sharpen up a brother continents. All right. So again, a hard and bitter life can sharpen your character in the same way bitter herbs support the body. So first we have to be made sharp with these scriptures and being edified, all right, from the body, which is Yahweh Shah, which is the brothers, starting with the apostles, the elder bishops on down, okay? And then we sharpen up other brothers. That's why you go through the phase of, you know, trying to come into the camp, you got to be on the other side. As you being sharpened. You come into the camp, you don't just start to be a speaker. You got to go through, holding post, holding the camera, getting built up, going to class, all right, catching hell, all right, all to become sharp for the use of the body. Not because the experience is pleasant, but because the difficulties activate strengths that would otherwise stay dormant. Here are a few parallels. All right, so catching hell, it brings, catching hell and going through these difficult situations in His truth, as the scripture says in Acts 14 and 20 through 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation, all right, enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right. So we have to go through these tribulations in order to bring out these characteristics of the Spirit that in otherwise, if we just had nothing but, all right, this truth and we just lived, good, and we didn't catch hell and it was a smooth ride until Yahweh Shah come, a lot of our character would lay dormant and Jake would become proud. All right. And Jake would be out here wilding. Right, but these bitterness of the scriptures of catching hell and being humbled, all right, it gives us that perfect balance that we need in order to be these future judges, in order to be judges in this time as well. All right. First point: bitter herbs stimulate the system. Hardship stimulates growth. Bitter herbs wake up digestion, metabolism, and circulation. Likewise, hardship forces you to wake up emotionally and mentally. It pushes you to adapt, to think and respond in ways comfort never would. And that's what you see in a younger brother. A younger brother is full of that sweetness at first. He understands catching hell, but he hasn't really went through it. All right. He's got the kingdom. Now he's around brothers. So it's been sweet, It's been sweet, but a more seasoned man, he has more balance. He's more serene. He's more tranquil in his mind and his actions, where a younger brother is more forward, all right, in his actions and may get into trouble just, being hasty, okay, because he hasn't been built up in the mind yet, all right, with that balance of experiencing this truth and experiencing the world. All right, keep it sharp. Bitter herbs help the body handle stressors by strengthening eternal process. A bitter life experience strengthens your capacity to handle future adversity. And the ultimate time is coming, where it's the time of Jacob's trouble and the hour of temptation, and that's what we're being built up for. You become less shaken, more resourceful, more patient. Okay, got a quick precept. I'm gonna have to end this lesson. All right, this is James. Lord, what I could pick back up on it. James 1 and 2. My brother, and count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. All right, and it's the same mindset we should have when we eat our herbs too. All right. The same mindset that we take when we're going through our experience and our being tried out with this truth and going through our walk under this wicked kingdom. All right. Babylon the Great and Esau's rulership. We're going to count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations or tests. All right. Your faith being tried. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith work it patience. Okay, so when your faith is being tested, what that's doing is edifying, is building up in you patience, the ability to suffer. Okay, and this is what this truth is about: suffering, like our Lord Yahweh Shah suffered unto death, and so we have to suffer until the end, which the end may be different for certain brothers. The end may be under a guillotine, or putting to death for the witness of this truth, or being patient until the end when Yahweh Shah returns. Okay, and that's be the bulk of the Israelites. We have to be patient in all aspects of this truth, having the ability to suffer, okay, which will build up in you inner strength, okay, mental inner strength. But let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing, okay? So that's a balance. All right, if you got too much sweet, the body becomes sick. You got too much bitter, the body will break down. All right, so with the balance, the body, all right, which is simile until your spirit, it'll want nothing. It'll have perfect balance. All right, and that don't mean you won't stop growing and you won't stop needing that balance. Or you have to continue to eat. All right, but you will have a complete diet, as the scriptures go into. Sound doctrine is the complete diet that we need. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that give it to all men liberally and upbraid it not, and it shall be given him. So when you self-examine yourself, all right, ask Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua for what we need in the spirit. Okay, so Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Chakadash, Brakatham, Shalom.